There's a heat wave coming. You've seen the warnings. Stay inside, close the blinds, drink water, check on the elderly, crank the air conditioning, and do not, under any circumstances, go out into that. And they're right to warn you because every summer now, the heat kills. Hundreds of people. Thousands. A number that climbs every year. So you seal the windows, you set the thermostat, and you wait for it to pass, grateful for the cool air, certain that the heat outside is simply more than a body can take. But here's what should stop you. Your body crossed deserts. For 300,000 years, the animal you are walked through heat that would put a modern person in the hospital, and it didn't just survive that heat. It hunted in it. You are descended from a long line of creatures that ran down prey under the midday sun, in temperatures you now treat as a natural disaster. So how did we get here? How did the best long-distance heat athlete on the planet become something that can be killed by a warm afternoon? The answer is not that the world got hotter. The answer is the box you're sitting in. Start with what you actually are, because you've forgotten. You are, by some measures, the finest cooling machine evolution ever built. Other animals pant. They find shade and wait. They overheat and stop. You don't. You sweat from millions of glands across nearly your entire body. And that sweat evaporates and pulls the heat straight out of you continuously while you keep moving. You stand upright, so the high sun only touches your head and shoulders instead of your whole back. You shed your fur to let the heat escape. Put all of it together, and you get an animal that can do something almost nothing else on Earth can. Chase a faster, stronger animal across the open heat for hours, until the animal, unable to cool itself the way you can, simply overheats, collapses, and is yours. We didn't outrun our prey. We outcooled it. That is your body. That is the machine you're sitting inside. And the cooling was only half of it. The other half is the part we've truly lost. Your body doesn't just endure temperature, it remakes itself to fit whatever temperature you live in. The word for it is acclimatization, and it is one of the most remarkable things about you. Drop a person into real heat, and within a week or two, their body quietly rebuilds. They start to sweat sooner and sweat more. Their sweat turns watery, holding back precious salt. Their blood volume actually increases. In 10 to 14 days, a person transforms from someone wilting in the heat into someone who works through it. No technology, no help, just a body doing what it was designed to do. The same thing runs in the other direction, toward the cold. For 300,000 years, this is how humans lived. Not at one perfect temperature, but swinging through all of them. Freezing nights and scorching days, bitter winters and blazing summers. And a body that met each one by becoming the version of itself that could handle it. So before we get to the thing that switched all of this off, if any of this is landing, if you felt your own body struggle with weather it should be able to take, subscribing is how the next one of these reaches you. That's the whole of the ask. Now, the box. Because somewhere in the last 100 years, we did something no human had ever done. We stopped letting our bodies feel temperature at all. We invented a machine that holds the air at one number, and then we put it everywhere. The house, the car, the office, the store. And we picked a number, around 70 degrees, 21 in the rest of the world. And we decided that every room, in every season, for the rest of our lives, would sit at exactly that. Winter morning, 70 degrees. Summer afternoon, 70 degrees. The same unchanging air, day after day, year after year. The seasons reduced to something that happens to other people on the other side of the glass. It feels like comfort. It feels like progress. And it is quietly making you fragile. Because that magnificent system, the sweating, the acclimatizing, the body that rebuilds itself to match the heat, only switches on when it's used. It is a muscle, and a muscle that is never asked to do anything wastes away. A body kept at a perfect 70 degrees every hour of every day never gets the signal to adapt to anything. The sweat response stays lazy. The blood never thickens for the cold or thins for the heat. The whole ancient machine sits idle, gathering dust, waiting for a temperature that, thanks to the thermostat, never comes. You haven't conquered heat and cold. You've simply stopped practicing them. And the moment the air conditioning fails, or the power goes out, or you step outside into a real summer afternoon, you meet the consequence. A desert-crossing animal that can no longer handle a warm day because it spent its whole life in a box that never let it train. This is why the heat waves are so deadly now, and it's a harder truth than the news will tell you. Yes, the temperatures are climbing, but we are also meeting them with bodies that have never been allowed to adapt to anything. We took the most thermally adaptable creature on the planet, and we raised it in a sealed, unchanging bubble, and then we act surprised when it can't cope with the weather its own ancestors hunted in. The bubble didn't protect us from the heat. It took away the very thing that used to protect us from the heat. Now, this is the part where it would be easy to tell you something stupid, so I won't. The air conditioning is not the enemy. In a real heat wave, for the very old, the very young, the already sick, that cool air is the difference between life and death, and it saves thousands of people who could not adapt fast enough no matter what. This isn't a story about throwing away your thermostat and suffering on purpose. It's a story about a trade we made without reading the terms. We were offered perfect comfort, and we took it, all of it, every room and every hour. And we didn't notice that the price was the toughness our bodies were born with. We wanted to never be uncomfortable again. And we got our wish. We just didn't know it would cost us the ability to handle being alive on a planet with weather. Your great-grandparents were not stronger than you by accident. They were cold sometimes. They were hot sometimes. They sweated through summers and shivered through winters, and their bodies stayed fluent in the one language yours has nearly forgotten, the language of adapting. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a superbly adaptable animal that was sealed inside a single, unchanging temperature and never given the chance to become what it already is. And the way back is not suffering. It's just letting a little of the world back in. Letting the house get a touch warmer in summer, a touch cooler in winter. Stepping outside into the heat on purpose sometimes, and letting your body remember how to meet it. Feeling a season actually change on your skin. Your body has spent 300,000 years learning how to handle hot and cold, and it has not forgotten. It's only waiting behind the glass at a perfect and lifeless 70 degrees for you to ask it to wake up. Listen to it.